As the pavement starts to sizzle for the first time in 2026, two of the Big 12's preseason top three square off in Tempe. It's the Oklahoma State Cowgirls and the Arizona State Sun Devils as they kick off a three-game series at Farrington Stadium. Both of these teams trying to turn around from a rough weekend that opened Big 12 play. Arizona State getting swept at home against Utah. Oklahoma State dropped a home series to UCF. And the good thing is, still a long season left with plenty of softball to be played. But this one can go a long way in setting the tone for the rest of the year. We welcome you into the broadcast booth here at Farrington Stadium as Tyler Paley trades in his skates for his spikes. Alex Coyle with you as well. So glad to have you with us. And Tyler, on the Oklahoma State side, their offense is nothing short of phenomenal. 7 runs per game.
Yeah, and that's jumps out at you, right? And this team has no issues scoring whatsoever. Typically, you turn to your stars in cases like that with Tim, Schneidmiller, and Jones, no question. But this Cowgirls team scores in bunches. They're deep. The 4th and 5th innings really have emerged as their bread and butter. And then when they get on the base paths, they're really good at swiping an extra bag at a high percentage. But then again, something's got to give between the OSU offense and the ASU pitching. OSU will face up against Kenzie Brown, the senior ace for the Sun Devils, really one of the top strikeout pitchers in college softball. This team will go as far as Kenzie takes them. And she came into last weekend's series against Utah at the tail end of an illness. Looks to get back on the right side of things here tonight, but it will not be easy against this really deep and potent OSU offense.
She's getting closer and closer to so many both career but also Sun Devil milestones in this senior season. Lineups, first pitch, and so much more when we come back to Tempe. To the top of the first inning here, and their catcher Audrey Schneidmiller. You mentioned her in the open, but look, she's gotten off to a fantastic start to this season, coming in batting .400.
Yeah, and she's really known for her plate discipline, Alex. Kind of a situational hitter, takes those pro-level at-bats, and really helps to turn the lineup over to the top hitters who we're about to see here as this game gets started on this Friday night.
And in the circle for Arizona State, the aforementioned Kenzie Brown, her fantastic numbers in her final campaign as a collegiate softball player. Big-time strikeouts, as you mentioned, coming off of one of the best pitching seasons in Arizona State history so far this year, a .330 ERA with 74 strikeouts in 40 1/3 innings pitched. She's set in the circle. In the left-hand batter's box, it's J.L. Austin. And the first pitch, just outside of the zone of Seth Gould. Pretty warm day here in the Valley of the Sun. It'll be mid to low 80s throughout this game. It'll turn into a perfect night here in Tempe. Second consecutive Big 12 series for Arizona State, trying to get their first win in conference. Next tap foul brings the count 1-1.
Really curious to see how Kenzie Brown comes out in this one. Obviously getting that win against UTEP earlier this week. Big to put the Sun Devils back in the win column after that frustrating series here at home against Utah. And she's going to be the real driver of this squad. We talked about it in the open. Will it be the ASU pitching that prevails or the Oklahoma State bats, which, like you mentioned, 7 runs per game, no easy feat.
And that's one of those things coming into the year that head coach Megan Bartlett loved about her team was the depth that they had behind Kenzie Brown at that pitching spot. Our 1-1 pitch after a little bit of a delay with Samantha Swan behind the plate. Tries to frame that one up and misses just outside. When you add names like Aisa Silva, of course, and Mary Peyton Hodge, in addition to the progression of Mika Lupi in the circle, there's a lot more trust, and you can take some miles off of that right arm, especially for moments like this against top 2 programs in conference. 2-1 in the outside corner, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Great pitch by Brown there, just paints the outside edge, gets even in the count, sets her up. 2 pitches to spare here to knock down Austin.
Digs in for the sign. Roxanne fires a 2-2. And that is right there for strike 3. 75th strikeout of the season for Kenzie Brown to start it off. Kenzie Brown with such overpowering stuff, can also drop it in with the best of them. Now faces another lefty, Tia Warsop, the left fielder. Squares around to bunt, pulls back, and takes strike 1.
Warsop, a really good contact hitter. Patient at the plate, really good defensively too. And a whole lot of speed.
Defense respecting that in the corners as Avila and Chester crash from the corners. Swings through that pitch, it's up again 2.
Brings some international experience to Oklahoma State from Australia.
Brown well ahead. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Elevates a fastball and has 2 Ks to start the ball game.
Really impressive from Kenzie Brown. Clearly settling in early in this one. Just uses that rise ball, which is her top pitch, to her advantage, works her upstairs, and gets the swing and miss.
Claire Tim, the right fielder, will dig in, hitting .393 on the season. Takes that one just off the plate. The importance of having a shutdown inning early in this one. Of course, both teams limping into this, but of course, from the Oklahoma State perspective, their idea was, okay, let's strike first early, be able to command a game. For Arizona State, a 0 in the first allows you to try to command offensively. That just misses 1-1.
Get out of the top half of the inning if you're Arizona State. That's the mindset. For Oklahoma State, road game, want to set yourself up well. Both these teams, really good records so far this year when taking the first lead. Critical in this one.
Brown behind 2-0, her pitch. Just off that plate, the outside corner maybe a bit low as well, 3-0.
Claire Tim, such a strong on-base percentage this year. Really patient at the plate as a left-handed hitter, and now well up in the count at 3-0.
Looking for her 10th walk of the season. 3-0 pitch. It's on that outside corner, 3-1.
This is where you kind of got to be careful if you're Kenzie Brown, though, because Tim does a really good job putting the ball in play. Still a hitter's count here at 3-1.
Some good power this season. 5 home runs. She's driven in 22. Nobody on in front of her and 2 away in the top of the first. That's called a strike. Gets a call there. Full count.
Generous call.
Brown struck out Austin, looking to start things off. Struck out Warsop for out number 2. Her 3-2 pitch on the ground and foul. We'll do it again. Kenzie Brown 40 in the 3rd innings coming into this one. At this point last year, she had thrown quite a few more innings than that, so that depth has already helped. Hoping to get some better mileage on her later in the season. Trying to strike out the side of the first. Tim spoils another.
This is where Tim is so good. Tends to work counts. She can spray the ball to every side of the field, and such a good contact hitter. Now approaching pitch number 8.
From 3-0 to 3-2, a couple foul balls. A payoff pitch once more. James shot fly ball left field. Acuna coming in, dives, it's Byron down. Into second, now trying for third, and she'll slide feet first. In with a triple is Claire Tim.
Just a nice piece of hitting by Tim. Went opposite field, exactly what Brown gave her with that off-speed pitch. able to drop it in ahead of the left fielder coming in, and ends up hustling around the base paths, earning those 3 bags, which are so critical here with 2 outs here.
Just enough to sneak that one in front of the left fielder, Yaya Acuna. Known for her speed and her defensive prowess. But now Oklahoma State can bleed one through and get a run. Rosie Davis, the third baseman, with 18 runs batted in on the year. The illustrious 300, 400, 500 slash line to start her campaign as well. 2 strikeouts, then a triple. 2-0.
Yeah, Davis not one to chase pitches. Again, really consistent contact hitter, loves to drive the ball into the gap. Let's see what she does here against Brown.
There are so many hitters in this Oklahoma State lineup that have more walks than strikeouts. One of them at the plate, swings through as it rises over the bat. 2-1.
If it's not broken, don't fix it for Kenzie Brown. Knows how to use that rise ball to her advantage. Go back to what works and get back into the count.
Rosie Davis, a cleanup hitter on the heels of a triple. 3-1. Oklahoma State in at 17-7 on the year. And a really tough non-conference slate. Handful of top 10 wins already have them ranked in the majority of their polls. 3-1, misses upstairs. Nope, catches the zone and is strike 2, a full count again.
Kind of froze her with that off-speed pitch. Maybe just a hair upstairs from Brown, but again, back exactly where she wants Davis in this situation.
A full count 2-out triple from Claire Tim, runs at third. A full count 2-out pitch to Rosie Davis from Kenzie Brown. That is inside. It's ball 4. They check on the swing, and she did not go. You can see the difference, even though Brown battled back in both plate appearances, of attacking the strike zone early, getting ahead, and falling behind like she did 3-0 and ultimately 3-1. Difference between 2 strikeouts and then a triple and a walk with 2 away to set up Godwin.
Yeah, and Godwin, a ton of power coming to the plate. Middle of the order power hitter all season long for the Cowgirls, and they rely on her for run production. Now with runners at the corners and 2 away, you can expect her to try to wait for her pitch. Again, another patient hitter, try to drive it to a gap, get a run across the plate, perhaps 2, with some speed over there on first now in Davis.
Godwin, another one of these Oklahoma State Cowgirls that has double-digit walks and single-digit strikeouts on her season. At the corners with 2 away. First pitch to the 5-hole hitter. Bunts through that one, taking second safely is Davis. 2 in scoring position. Sixth stolen base of the year for Rosie Davis to trail Claire Tim. Inside strike zone there. It's been a pitcher-friendly zone so far from Seth Gould. Cowgirls trying to pounce on Kenzie Brown with 2 outs. But Godwin going to find herself in a 1-2 hole. Squared on the first pitch to allow Davis to take second. 2 strikes since. Opportunities on the road in conference. You got to capitalize with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. The 1-2 pitch, just a piece to stay alive.
I'll tell you, it will be really impressive. Not surprising, but impressive nonetheless if Brown can kind of finagle her way out of this jam late in the first.
That's the beauty of being a strikeout pitcher, right? 2 outs or 1 batter from getting out of it. She delivers her 1-2. It's upstairs. Oklahoma State trying to give run support for Ruby Malin, their big-time strikeout pitcher. That's called strike 3. Kenzie Brown, a big fist pump out of the circle. She strikes out 3 and leads 2 in scoring position. No score after 1/2. Sun Devils to the plate when we come back. Sun Devils and Kenzie Brown wiggle out of a jam in the top of the first inning. That sets up their offense, an opportunity to strike first in the bottom half. As we take a look at their lineup and their leadoff hitter, Kaylee Pond. She has been unbelievable setting the tone this season, Tyler. She's on base about 50% of the time.
Yeah, the reason for that is because she's incredibly disciplined. She takes a ton of walks, rarely strikes out, and really makes pitchers work, which can be both a physical toll and a mental toll on this lady, Ruby Malin.
Ruby Malin, a senior with just under a strikeout per inning pitched, he's done a great job to set the tone for Oklahoma State, especially in some big games. Mentioned earlier, a handful of top 10 wins already this season. A situation where a couple of teams need a quick turnaround and short memories after what happened to them to open Big 12 play. Sun Devils swept against Utah. Oklahoma State drops 2 of 3 at home against UCF. Again, these two were 2 of the top 3 in the Big 12 preseason poll. Of course, Arizona and Arizona State were voted tied for 3rd in that category. Texas Tech almost unanimously the favorite. Actually dropped a big one today against Arizona. As Pond pops this one up, foul ground. Just slightly third base side for Davis to make the catch, 1 away.
Yeah, big win for Arizona over Texas Tech. And I think in the last couple of seasons since the conference realignment, it just goes to show how much tighter it is here in the Big 12 with all 11 programs that have softball.
Another look at the Arizona State lineup. Emily Shep will dig in, the designated player. A little bit of a shake-up toward the bottom of that order, at least from the opening day portion of the lineup. The group has still been productive so far this season, but trying to find that perfect dynamic and balance. Power, the speed, some really good speed at the bottom of the order tonight. Here's the 0-1. It's upstairs. Ebbs and flows of the energy in a softball game as well, especially with the opportunity that Oklahoma State had in the top half of this first. And you wiggle out of that, you have the crowd on its feet, everybody pumped up into that third base dugout. You can find one here that sometimes can snowball on teams.
Well, someone like Shep, really good job at extending at bats, extending innings, right? You can get on base here and really set your middle portion of the lineup up well.
1-2 count on her. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. It's getting on the hitters in a hurry in that circle for Malin, her first strikeout.
Yeah, just a nice pitch. Down and in. Gets Shep twisted up a little bit, and just a really nice pitch.
Bottom just fell out of that one. Sets up Ashley Mejia and her fantastic on-base streak. And a slow tapper towards second. Jones on to first. It's not in time. The speed of Ashley Mejia just able to beat that out. The Sun Devils had their first base runner.
So aggressive, swinging first pitch, able to kind of nab that one right up the middle, and a solid play defensively by the second baseman there, but too much speed, like you mentioned, from Mejia to get over there to first and get the Sun Devils their first base runner of the night.
That sends Ashley Mejia's on-base streak to 24 consecutive games. This is game number 27 of the season for Arizona State, Tyler. Extends the inning for Katie Chester. Big-time power. She swings through the first pitch.
Another veteran infielder for this Sun Devil squad. Loves to hit line drives, can really put the ball in play in most situations.
See the 8 home runs to go along with the 26 runs batted in. Just a great comeback from a pretty rough injury. Caused her to miss last season. And this comeback had been a big time impact in the middle of this order. Defensively at first base. Taps that one foul in front of the screen of the Sun Devil dugout.
Another one of these Sun Devil hitters who's so good at extending these innings. Down in the count with 2 outs, find a way to extend this at bat and get another base runner on for Arizona State.
2-out base runner for the Sun Devils. The 1-2 pitch is on the corner. It's called strike 3. 2 strikeouts for Ruby Malin in the first. Neither teams can cash in a 2-out base runner. Into the second, no score from Tempe. Farrington Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. Second weekend of Big 12 conference play. Softball season. Sun Devils led by head coach Megan Bartlett. She's done a great job rebuilding and retooling this program, especially at the beginning of this season, where she finally felt for the first time in her tenure, this is year 4 for her, that she had enough depth, not only to have an impact and play well during the season, but simply to scrimmage in the offseason. The first time that she could do that with full teams on both sides. And we spoke about pitching depth earlier as well. Great tone set from her, and now year 4.
Closing in on 100 wins here at ASU as well. Could happen as early as next week.
One of those wins because of the right arm of Kenzie Brown. Her first pitch of inning number 2 is up and away. Struck out 2 in that first, walked 1, and worked around a 2-out triple. Stranded 2 in scoring position. With those 3 strikeouts in the inning, she's now just 14 shy of 500 in her collegiate career. 2-0 count to start things off on Audrey Schneidmiller, the catcher. Spoke about her when we saw the lineups last inning for Oklahoma State. In fact, she's had splitting games behind the plate, but hitting .400 doing so. She takes one low, another 3-0 count.
Now, not a power hitter necessarily, but she finds ways to get on base even without that power. And today batting in the 6th hole, but usually helps to kind of turn over the lineup. Again, it's about extending those innings, making it hard on the ASU pitcher.
And you mentioned a big-time bat the ball into 6 walks and 6 strikeouts. She'll add a 7th as that misses high. Second walk issued by Brown and the leadoff base runner.
Now batting designated player number 3, Amanda Hassler.
Here's somebody that Brown needs to be really aware of in Hassler. Talk about power. She is probably, one of the top 3 power hitters within this Oklahoma State lineup.
4 home runs on the season. Schneidmiller, the catcher, running at first, 2 for 2, stealing bases as that misses upstairs. Sam Swan going to call timeout, trying to calibrate her starting pitcher, who's not fired a strike yet in his 2nd inning.
Hassler, the type of hitter who can really change the game in the matter of 1 swing, so I want to make sure they're on the same page.
Despite having been his 7-hole, leads the lineup and runs batted in tonight. It's a strike, 1-1. He's got 26. Next highest is their 3-hole hitter Tim, who hit that 2-out triple, 22. She follows the leadoff one. Counts 1-1. The breakdown there, nearly 50-50 strike the ball. A little bit of overthrowing so far, Tyler. Of course, those 3 strikeouts are good, but behind another hitter, the 2-1 pitch is off of the forearm and wrist, but they're going to hold her here. Let's see what the call is. Seth Gould, but umpire, I think he's going to say it hit the knob of the bat. They're going to call it a foul ball.
Yeah, I think that is what they're saying.
Hang on. He's saying a 3-1 count. So that means he's just awarding she did not make an effort to get out of the way of the pitch. So 3-1 counts after that one did clip her, but and a hit by pitch, 3-1. Similar spot. This time it's in the strike zone. The count is full.
Yeah, great pitch. Right on the inside edge. Kenzie not backing down from this hitter.
Would have hit a spot too, right? Right at the belt. Fight back. Here's her 3-2. It's a line drive. Foul off the screen above the Oklahoma State dugout down that first base line.
Yeah, typically late in games, you feel like pitchers would rather take their chances with the next hitter as opposed to somebody like Hasler. But in a situation like this with the caliber pitcher in the circle right now, Kenzie Brown going right at her.
Especially after the leadoff walk. Still nobody out in the second inning. 3-2, just a piece to foul it straight back.
Yeah, good at bat, fighting it off. Thought she had taken first base a couple of pitches ago. Instead, fighting for her life, trying to extend and move the base runner at the very least.
If you retire her, you still have just the end of the lineup due up in this frame. If she gets on or anybody else, top of the order will come up a second time. Charge into this one down the left field line and hooks long foul.
A little out in front of that one.
It's one of those now you got her in swing mode. Toss that again a little further out, maybe a bit lower. Could be strike 3. 3 strikeouts in the game for Brown. 3-2. Misses low and away. It's ball 4. Back-to-back walks stretch the inning for Oklahoma State.
Yeah, really impressive at bat from Hasler. Again, was up in the count early. Kenzie Brown works her way back into it. She has to foul off a couple and then ultimately earns the walk. And now Coach Gajewski going to sub for her on first.
Actually, a little confusion there. They're going to run for the catcher at second. It's Oklahoma State. It'll be Jacques. Miller will be able to re-enter defensively in the bottom half of this frame. Seeking a chance with a runner in scoring position now. Now actually 2 on and nobody out. We're hitting Jaden Jones. A struggled start to her season in the batting average category. Still has driven in 10. She'll square to bunt and bunted straight foul.
Yeah, this is where Oklahoma State feels like they're in a good spot because Jones can really pressure defenses with her speed, lay down a bunt, advance both runners. You'll sacrifice the out in order for 2 runners in scoring position early on in this one, try to capitalize and turn the lineup over.
And if you execute the bunt with that speed, can load the bases. The 0-1, she'll square again, pulls back. Some of us have the corners crashing, the middle infielders cover a base. Ulrich will go toward third, the shortstop. Teade Ho-Ching will cover first at second base. Consecutive innings with 2 runners of traffic for Oklahoma State. This one pulled back again. It's called a strike this time. It's 1-2. Of execution. Conference play on the road. 2, she'll take this one straight away. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Those can hit line drives, so you almost wonder here. Try to pull one to the outfield, at least advance that runner at second.
Also from that left side, wonder if she can slap one into left. And just simply get one on the ground that way. She takes one upstairs, full count. Also have the idea in play. Might as well force Brown to throw a strike. She's walked two already to strike this inning.
Yeah, command a little bit out of control this inning. Still looking for a first down.
There's one ball in play against her in this game. 3-2. It's outside and low. It's ball 4. They were trying to bunt, got 2 strikes, and then 3 straight balls to load the bases.
Shortstop, number 7, Aubrey Jones.
And that's going to lead to a visit in the circle of Aubrey Jones, the shortstop and sister of Jaden. The bases loaded now. 4 walks in the last 5 hitters at the plate for Oklahoma State. The message definitely going to be to simply stay patient, wait for her to come to you. And in the circle for Brown, attack the strike zone. Your stuff's better than them. It's already shown that with 3 strikeouts in the first.
Yeah, no question. That first inning really put on full display how good Kenzie Brown's pitching has been. But she found herself in a similar situation or two against Utah last weekend, and in some cases was able to kind of weasel out of them. In others, it kind of became a little bit difficult, and Utah was able to capitalize and really take it to Arizona State last weekend. This is a situation where early on you have to kind of lock down, command that circle, make your pitches, settle in, and feed off the energy of your team, the crowd, and try to get out of this inning perhaps unscathed, but if not, with as minimal damage as possible.
A visit from first-year pitching coach John Bartfeld for Arizona State. He actually spent 5 seasons in the opposing dugout for Oklahoma State. 2019 through 2023. 3 straight College World Series appearances with the Cowgirls. First pitch misses inside. Aubrey Jones, the shortstop, at the plate, following 3 walks to start the second inning.
Really productive with runners on base as well for Jones, already as a freshman.
Field playing in. A 9-hole hitter at the plate. Strike 1. It's been a wide zone. It's been a tall zone as long as you can find it. Brown struck out 2 looking in the top half of the first. Malin struck out 1 looking in the bottom half as well. This one on the ground, but fouled on the third base line. Now you get to that chance where look, 1-2 count, you can go back on the attack here. Get a strikeout, put yourself or a double play and get you out of the inning.
Yeah, especially with the top of the order coming up next. J.L. Austin and Tia Warsop went down in that first inning, but always dangerous at the top of the lineup.
Ball to 2 strikes with the bases loaded and nobody out. It's just upstairs. Hitter spot. Just missed the zone. Well, there's maybe a change the eye level here.
Go back to what works. Rise ball.
Or 2-2. Swing and miss. Strike 3. Exactly that. Changes the eye level. Goes drop down low. Now 4 strikeouts. All 4 outs to be obtained.
Yeah, really impressive pitch there. Don't listen to me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Kenzie goes low. Again, changes that eye level. Just makes her swing right over top of it. Gets the strikeout. A critical strikeout. Gets her first out of the inning.
Sets up the top of the order. J.L. Austin, center fielder with 4 homers on the season. Takes her swing. Takes a strike.
Now you can see Kenzie starting to find her groove, get a little bit of confidence back, and ideally look for a ground ball here, set up that double play, escape this inning somehow, some way.
Field still playing in, ready to go home on a tapper right to him. 0-1, goes drop ball to miss as well. Oklahoma State wants to strike first on the road. First road test of their Big 12 play. Owen just missed off the plate. Kenzie Brown nearing 60 pitches already, not even through 2 innings. 3 strikeouts and a walk in the first, including a full count triple. 3 walks and a strikeout in this inning. This one's popped up behind the plate. We'll find the seats out of play.
Even count. Do you go low here if you're Kenzie Brown? Again, looking for that strikeout pitch and then earn that second out of the inning. Knock him down exactly how she did in the first.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Right on the money. Back-to-back strikeouts with them loaded. There's 2 away.
Again, off speed that time. Used every inch of the plate. And went low. Exactly what she did on Jones, she does to JL Austin. And now you find yourself with 2 outs.
It's Tia Warsip, the second batter in the lineup. Takes one up and away. Struck out swinging back to the first. Bases were loaded via walk before an out recorded in this frame. Strikeout swinging from Aubrey Jones. Strikeout swinging from JL Austin. Fitz can play back normal depth. Corners will crash with a left-hander at the plate. He takes a strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
Again, feels like a different situation than the first inning, but if Kenzie can somehow get out of this inning, it'd be really impressive, especially with 3 runners on.
Momentum would go back to the third base dugout. Another strike on the outside corner, this time with off speed. And now the crowd can really get into it. Walk, walk, and walk. Have the bags packed. Strikeout and strikeout at 2 outs. And from the windup, her 1-2 pitch. Tapper right back to the circle. Brown to first, and she gets out of it. Bases loaded by herself. Retires 3 straight. They're still knotted at nothing. Sun Devils trying to take that momentum to the plate after this in Tempe. You are watching the Big 12 on ESPN. Second Big 12 series of the year for both of these teams. Oklahoma State has a couple of big-time opportunities already at the plate that they've squandered. 2 in scoring position with 2 outs in the first. A strikeout ends that. Bases loaded via walk before an out in the second. Strikeout, ground out for Kenzie Brown. She's tossed up 2-0 so far.
Yeah, you feel like the momentum has already swung 3 different ways in this softball game, and we're only in the second inning. It felt like Oklahoma State took it, then ASU able to get out of that. ASU nothing doing offensively, trying to change that here.
Here's Sam Swan to start off the Sun Devil half of the second inning. This is up and away for a ball. Sun Devils got a 2-out infield hit from Ashley Mejia, nothing else. 2 strikeouts for Malin. It's now 61 straight appearances with a strikeout for the right-hander. That's every single appearance as a Cowgirl.
Yeah, we spent so much time talking about Kenzie Brown and how impressive she's been. It has been exactly the same for Oklahoma State.
Swing and miss. Swan had to finish that with a top hand only on the back. Smirk on her face. Look at the fantastic numbers from the behind the dish this season. 1150 OPS. Can't ask for much better. Can't ask for much better than a 3-1 count to start the inning. Tapper foul, full count. In chatting with head coach Megan Bartlett before this season, you know, there had been good strides and progress made every single year of her tenure so far. But, you know, mentioned she feels like has the deepest team she's ever had. But also the idea and the true belief. This one's popped up shallow left. Worsup and Jones. It's left fielder Worsup for the out one away. The team has belief that they can do more than they've done last season, and it feels like, of course, you know, the support from the Valley, the support from Tempe has been great. You can see another fantastic crowd. There was an attendance record to open up the season against Oklahoma, but that they can bring the program back to a national level, of national relevance. And she said that success starts with belief from her team. First pitch to the bunting Yazzie Avila.
Yeah, that's the right attitude, right? You see all the banners out there on the outfield wall. And last time this team made the College World Series back in 2018, it's been a while, and she feels like she has the right group, the right roster to be able to bring them back to the promised land, perhaps this year.
Look at the national title banners as well. Two most recent in 08 and 2011. The College World Series history there. The Diamond Sports here in Tempe historically have been the bread and butter of Arizona State University. It's in their first strike, 2-1. Willie Bloomquist on the baseball side, trying to do pretty much the exact same thing. Similar timeline from when he took over to Megan Bartlett. And back to tournaments a year ago. This one hard on the ground. One hop into the glove of Davis on to first. A nice pick at the hot corner. There's 2 outs.
Yeah, really impressive pick by the third baseman there. And playing exactly where she needed to, because when Avila can get on base, the defense has to be alert. It turns out when she's at the plate, the defense has to be alert as well. That was a smoke shot right off the bat. Nothing you can do if you're Avila. That is just a great defensive play.
Played it well with the trapper, Tyler. 2 down, nobody on for Tiare Ho Ching, the second baseman. Ho Ching was so highly touted after a very impressive start to her Sun Devil campaign a year ago. She's at the top of the order, played shortstop the first weekend, and then got hit in the head with a pitch weekend 2 that caused her to miss a handful of time, and she's trying to find a way to get back into this season. She takes a strike, hitting just .229. Power is still there. She added 15 pounds of strength in the offseason. Has 4 home runs, but 10 runs batted in to go with it. That's with 2 outs and nobody on. Down to an 0-2 hole.
Yeah, really cerebral player. Keeps the Sun Devil lineup kind of balanced and really good at advancing runners. Obviously not a situation here for her to do that, but once again, it becomes, can ASU extend this inning?
Swing and a miss for strike 3. Tag applied by Schneidmiller. And a 1-2-3 frame for Oklahoma State. No score after 2 at Farrington Stadium. Sun Devils and Cowgirls. Top 3 up next. Farrington Stadium on campus at Arizona State University. Sun Devils and Cowgirls, no score through 2. But Tyler, this feels like a situation where Kenzie Brown, who has fought in and out of traffic jams herself through the first 2, can find an opportunity to settle in.
Yeah, really settle in here. She was able to kind of finagle her way out of the first 2 innings, which is great to see. Certainly a confidence booster for not only her in the circle, but the entire Sun Devil dugout. The question, though, is that sustainable through the middle portion of this game? And you're kind of approaching the time when the Oklahoma State bats really warm up. Remember, we talked about it in the open. That 4th, 5th inning, really when they can light it up and pull away. So Kenzie trying to use this 3rd to settle down and settle in.
Kenzie trying to settle in just like that Oklahoma State fan settled in, taking a nice nap between innings. 5 strikeouts for Brown so far. She's walked 4. Just the one hit, the 2-out triple that was stranded at third base back in the first inning. It's in there for a strike. Came from Claire Tim. She's at the plate.
Yeah, Oklahoma State counts on her to get on base, create those scoring chances. So leading off this inning, trying to make contact, put the ball in play.
1-1 is tapped foul. Of course, you know, we've hammered the 7 runs a game point, but also in order to score, you have to get on at every point in the lineup. They have 7 of their 9 players in the lineup today that get on base at a 400 clip or better. Putting in the top 3 a couple that are pushing 500, and Tim got her batting average above 400 with that triple in the first. Down in a 1-2 count here. Brown rocks and fires. This one in the air, pretty well hit towards center field. Kaylee Pond will drift back in though, make the catch. Kenzie Brown starts this inning off much better than last, retiring the first batter of the frame.
Yeah, I like the swing. Just got a little bit underneath it. And a good play by Pond to read that well off the bat. It did appear that it was headed out deeper towards that outfield wall. She drifts in and makes the catch.
As the sun set, that wind has calmed down quite a bit. Pretty windy day here in Tempe, but no movement from that flag in left center. Right by the scoreboard. Rosie Davis takes a strike, a 2-out walk for her back in the first inning. She stole second and was stranded there. Yeah, you can see Brown just simply attacking in this third inning, much closer to what she looked like against the first few batters of that first inning. Walked the bases loaded to start the second and found a way out of it. Way ahead 0-2. Just off the plate.
You can see the defense for the Sun Devils back out a little bit as the pitcher is ahead in the count. This is a hitter who can go several different directions with the ball. Good mix between power and contact.
1-2, well up, well away. That walk for Davis, her 12th of the season, only 9 strikeouts for her. Part of the middle of this order that has all 3 in the single digits in Ks. Not the greatest matchup for Kenzie Brown as this one's flied toward deep center field. Pond giving chase again in front of the wall. Out number 2.
Another good swing by Davis. Came up just a few feet shy of the wall that time. And Kaylee Pond having a pretty productive and busy top of the third.
And to finish that thought on Kenzie Brown, while it might not be a good matchup for her, she still strikes out anybody with the best of them. 5 more already tonight. That's her 79 on the season, 42+ innings. Inching closer to another 100 strikeout season, but also to 500 strikeouts in her career. Now this low. She struck out 45 at Tulsa in her freshman season. Then came to Arizona State, struck out 76 in her first year here. Missed a season due to injury, and then struck out everybody, not only at the plate, but everybody in attendance too, as this one's fly deep toward left field at the wall. Acuna, she makes the catch there. 3 high fly balls, 2 to the warning track in the third for Oklahoma State. Kenzie Brown retires M in order, bottom 3 when we come back on ESPN Plus. To the plate for the first time against Ruby Malin. She retired 4 in a row. Will face 8-9-1. With Ulrich, the shortstop for Arizona State, will start things off. Good opportunity to get some speed aboard for them. As Oklahoma State bats, they've been close every inning. Maybe not as much traffic in that third, but a couple flyouts, the warning track and wall against Kenzie Brown.
Yeah, you feel like Kenzie needed an inning like that for Arizona State. Settle back in, a quick and easy inning as opposed to what you had to deal with in the first two.
But also important with the pitch count, too, to be able to go deep in this game. It was near 60 through 2 innings. Just a handful in that third. Owners playing in against Ulrich. She takes all the way up and away.
Good opportunity here for Ulrich. Contact hitter, kind of sets the table for the rest of the Arizona State lineup. The 8 hitters are trying to turn the lineup back over if she can get on base with Acuna trailing her.
This one with some good movement that tips into the inside portion of the strike zone tonight from Seth Gould. 3 strikeouts, just 1 base runner against Ruby Malin through 2. Now it dips a bit too low. And again, rather strikeout per inning pitched. Came in shy of 82 innings pitched on the season. Just so solid. Get hitters out in any way, especially with the late movement that allows Ulrich to swing through for strike 2. Check swing, appeal to third. Tracy Laycock waves safe, full count. Ulrich, then Acuna, and then Kaylee Pond at the top of the Sun Devil order. 3-2. On the ground into center field, a base hit. You mentioned table center, Brooklyn Ulrich. On with the second Sun Devil base runner, trying to set that table for ASU in this third.
Yeah, good work, good hitting work. You see her work the count full. Doesn't try to do too much with the softball. Goes middle, right up the middle. Takes the single, and now you go with your 9-hitter before the lineup turns back over, and you have Pond, Shep, Mejia to kind of work this third inning to your favor if you're Arizona State.
They can get some action and pressure on the defense with good speed at first, good handling of the bat at the plate, but yeah, Acuna bunts one foul. Ulrich did a great job of that ball out front, even if she just got the end of the bat. Tap one back up the middle. The base runner of this game for Arizona State. Only other was a 2-out infield base hit from Ashley Mejia in the first. Bunt pulls back, it's too high, 1-1. Mentioned the on-base percentages for Oklahoma State in the top half of this third. Arizona State the same way. Popped up bunt. Lands harmlessly foul. 1-2.
Yeah, a little dangerous there. But now a real opportunity for Malin to get this out and keep Ulrich stranded over there at first for the time being before Pond comes up. So good at pitching to a hitter's weaknesses, whether it's inside, outside, up or down.
1-2 pitch. Tries to slap that one. Comes up empty for strike 3. That is a big strikeout for Ruby Malin. Ahead of Kaylee Pond, hitting 500 in the last 5 games. She'll face her with 1 out. The runner stayed first. Four Ks, first time through the order for Malin. Pond, her second chance, popped out to third baseman her last time. Foul ground, takes that one outside. Good impact she's played in her first season with the Sun Devils. Best walk rate of her career as well. Her next free pass will give her an even 20 on the season. Doesn't have a season in her career above 29. Takes that one down the middle for a strike. 2-1.
Yeah, having a good first season as a Sun Devil here. Good balance between here in the top of the order between power hitters and the table setters like we talked about.
2-1. This one tap foul. And Pond, one of those that can do both. Mentioned the walks, mentioned the on-base percentage, but 7 home runs. And when you see a leadoff hitter, I'm expecting to be one of the team leaders in runs batted in. You're supposed to score the runs, right? She's got 28 driven in to go along with her run scoring prowess.
And oh yeah, she can pitch too.
2-2. Also straight back. Transferred in from Cal a couple seasons there. 2-2, a runner at first and 1 away. Tapper back to the circle, only plays to first, and strike to good Godwin cover in the bag. 2 outs, runner in scoring position. First one for Arizona State. Speaking of the Sun Devil softball team, continue Big 12 play next weekend as ASU takes on its biggest rival. They visit number 13, Arizona. Every ASU game on the Big 12 on ESPN+. That's going to be one heck of a series next weekend, especially if U of A continues momentum against Texas Tech. A run rule victory for them. Only Big 12 game that has gone final by the time we started play here in this one. And Texas Tech was one of the preseason national champion favorites. Of course, unbelievable run that they had last season.
Big 12 so deep in softball this year. It'll be a fun season. Early on, can already tell it'll be highly competitive. You saw Utah come in unranked, sweep Arizona State. It just goes to show that anything can happen on any given weekend.
The DP, Emily Shep, struck out swinging in the first inning. Chance to have the Sun Devils strike first with a 2-out knock. Driven in 24 this season. Takes one on the corner for a strike.
Shep can use the whole field. Doesn't rely on power, but consistently can put the ball in play. Here with 2 outs, she'll need to find a gap or a hole to try to drive that runner in from second.
Popped up. Foul territory left side. This one just does fall in the dirt. Great diving effort there from Jones. A little slow to give up. She'll dust herself off, drop back to Shuri. Aubrey Jones, a freshman, to be able to trust somebody in her first season of collegiate softball and immediately plug at probably the most important defensive position on the infield. Always good to plug someone she knows well as a double play partner as well. Her sister at second base and Jade all over the dirt. Good smother that time by Schneidmiller. It keeps Ulrich at second. 2-2 count on the DP, Emily Shep.
With Mejia looming, got to imagine Malin wants to knock down Shep and get out of this inning unscathed. After all the chances that Oklahoma State has had in top halves of innings, it would be frustrating to see the Sun Devils go up in this one.
Swing and miss for strike 3. Took something off that one, and a big K with a runner in scoring position. Sun Devils get a leadoff runner. Nothing to show for it. No score through 3. A pitcher's duel. K's galore. End of the 4th inning at Farrington Stadium. Arizona State hosting Oklahoma State. Into Big 12 conference action, 2026 style. Sun Devils at 20-6 on the season, trying to get their first conference win of the year. Oklahoma State 17-7 with a 1-2 conference record. Tyler, we're going to put an asterisk next to the 7 in the loss column for Oklahoma State. They hosted Wichita State earlier in the week. They were trailing the majority of that softball game. There was a chance for it to be a run rule in the 5th inning. Oklahoma State struck for a couple. First pitch from Kenzie Brown to Schneidmiller in this fourth. That's up and away. So they strike first to keep the strike late to keep things alive. And in the last inning, there's a lightning strike, rain delay, all that kind of stuff. That game is suspended, even though it's a 5-run lead for Wichita State. They'll pick that one up in a couple of weeks when they meet again anyway. Finish that one, play the normal game.
Yeah, I was actually watching that game yesterday in preparation for this weekend series, and it was all Wichita State early, but like you said, Oklahoma State pulling within a few just to make it a game. Just a fascinating situation.
Catches the corner for a strike. Schneidmiller led off the second inning with a free pass. She was part of 3 straight walks issued by Brown to start that inning. As you can see, none of them came in to score. Strikeout, strikeout, and ground out. Brown is retired all of a sudden 6 straight. A 3-1 count.
Yeah, Schneidmiller, a very versatile hitter. Hits for average, not necessarily power, but in a situation like this, hitters count. Trying to get on base, get this inning started in the right way for the Cowgirls.
And with the OPS just shy of 1,000, even though just 1 homer, she did something right. Swings through that pitch, 3-2 rather. Sort of feel like she's getting confident in that changeup / drop ball to recalibrate her. Gets her back in this count to the leadoff batter of the 4th. Swing and miss for strike 3. Took something more off that pitch. That's her 6th strikeout.
Yeah, again, changing the eye level for Kenzie Brown. Falls behind in the count, able to work herself back in with 2 straight off-speed pitches. And that time, just swung over top of it. 1 away here in the 4th.
Amanda Hasler, one of those walks to start the second inning. She'll dig in, the designated player. Next one just off the plate. Stephen Gould, our home plate umpire. Those first and second innings are just a microcosm of the idea that when you have an ace, one of the best pitchers in the country, on the ropes, you have to cash in on those chances, especially on the road in conference to start a 3-game weekend series.
Well, I think that last point is the biggest of them.
2-1.
Because we talked about setting the table within an inning, right?
Sure.
But it's setting the table within the context of an entire weekend. And look, we still have a whole lot of softball left to play here tonight and obviously tomorrow and Sunday, but how much will Oklahoma State regret not cashing in on those early chances?
1 count. They stranded 4 runners in scoring position in the first 2 innings.
And the flip side of that is how much confidence and momentum does that give Arizona State to say, hey, we find ourselves in difficult situations, still able to wiggle out of them.
Because at some point you knew Kenzie Brown was going to be able to settle in. Shot pop up out of play brings the count full. 7 in a row retired.
Got to be careful here with Hasler, though. She's patient enough to wait for a pitch she can drive, but aggressive enough to attack it when she sees it.
3-2. Miss low and in, and a 1-out walk. That's walk number 5 issued by Kenzie Brown, who walks about 1 batter every other inning coming in, and so struggle with command a little bit rare here to start this game. That's inflated that pitch count. Their next one will be 85 of the night. Jaden Jones, she walked back in the second. First baseman Katie Chester almost in her back pocket. Strike of the corner.
A lot of speed at the plate in Jones. With 1 out, a lot of different things you can do here. Contact hitter, obviously trying to advance that base runner over there on first, but extending innings, getting on yourself. critical here in the fourth.
That one skips in. Good stop from Sam Swan. Bouncing secondary lead over at first from Hasler. She slams on the brakes. She's 3 of 4 trying to swipe bags this season. Corners in, middle back. Runner at first with 1 away. Good spot with that one. Just firm and on the corner.
Good frame up by Swan as well.
Yep.
Probably bought her an inch or 2 on that outside edge.
Those two work so well together. Not quite the stereotypical personal catcher, but Swan is definitely in there when I should say Brown is on the mound. She dots the corner again for strike 3, second K of the inning, making 7 of the night.
With someone like Jones at the plate, she'll keep you on your toes with her ability to put that ball in play, but Kenzie Brown says, I don't care. Going to paint the outside edge, second straight pitch, get the backwards K and 2 outs.
Aubrey Jones struck out swinging. First out of the second. Runner takes off, ball in dirt. Throw down was good, but it's dropped by Ho Ching. On pounces on that in shallow right center, but runner in scoring position again for Oklahoma State. Hasler may have taken that one toward the chin or maybe ate some dirt. She'll be at second with 2 away.
It looked like Swan may have gotten tied up with that throw as well.
That was a tough one, a good pitch to run on with it being in the dirt. 9-hole hitter at the plate. Cowgirls want her to come through. Takes one right down the middle for strike 1.
Freshman here in a big situation. Base hit likely scores the first run of the ball game.
Swing and a miss. Well in front of the off speed, and Brown is strike away for 3 more strikeouts in this 4th inning.
What a statement it would be for Kenzie on this nice off-speed pitch down low. Close out the 4th inning unscathed.
Her 1-2 pitch is upstairs.
Remember, this is where Oklahoma State really thrives. 4th inning, 5th inning. Kind of the middle portion of the ball game is where their bats start to really come alive. And Brown on the verge of getting out of another opportunity for the Cowgirls with a runner in scoring position.
And this time it would set up with their 3-4-5 portion of the order up in the bottom of the 4th inning for ASU. A 1-out walk and a stolen base has Hasler at second base. 9-hole hitting Aubrey Jones at the plate. 2 strikeouts in the inning. Kenzie Brown's 2-2. Just missed, low and in.
That was close. Most of the night, Brown's been getting that call.
First base open, but top of the order on deck and J.L. Austin. Full count. Jam shot pop up. We'll do it again.
Almost a nice snag by that fan with the popcorn bag.
He's an Oklahoma State fan too, so he'll get heckled. Also getting some friendly fire down there too, because he couldn't make the catch. Another payoff pitch with a runner in scoring position in a scoreless game. She swung through that one. Did it hit her though? They're going to call foul ball, so she'll stay alive. I think this one catches her on the hands. She swings through, so they're part of the bat. Yep.
Yeah, it hurts.
Does give her fresh life. And now Megan Bartlett gonna come out and may possibly ask for another look at this one. If it hits the hands, of course, that's part of the bat. That would be a foul ball. But if it gets up on the wrist, gets up on the forearm, that'd be strike 3.
Yeah, because she swung through it.
Conversation between Megan Bartlett and Stephen Gould, the home plate umpire. I think she's going to ask for a review here as we take another look.
Yeah, I think she's saying it potentially came up higher than the hands on the arm. Take a look at the frame by frame here. The ball enter. And that's close.
If anything, it's hamate bone area on the bottom hand of the bat. It's going to be a tough one to overturn. Umpire still discussing things just to the left of the circle. Now
Arizona State is challenging that the ball hit the batter. The previous play is under further review.
so they are challenging whether it hit the batter instead of the bat. And again, in this case, since it was a swing called, the hands are part of the bat. Umpires will head beyond the first base dugout, replay center, check things out. It's Marty Abazitian, first base umpire, and Tracy Laycock down the line at 3rd. Stephen Gould, the one that made the call, the home plate umpire. And again, this is a big call because that strike 3 ends an inning, would mean the 5th runner stranded in scoring position for Oklahoma State. And in the middle and heart of the Sun Devil order, due up in the bottom half, a chance to finally strike in the game.
Right, no question about it. Or you then have a chance, if you're Oklahoma State, to extend this inning if the call stands on the field. If you can work your way on base, whether that be by walk or perhaps by hit, potentially drive a runner in and again extend that inning, extend Brown's 4th. She's already up, approaching 100 pitches here, nearly through 4. So a huge call here. To me, based on the replays we saw, it's going to be hard to overturn this, but very curious to see what the umpires determine here in the middle portion of this ball game.
20th meeting all time between these two teams. Oklahoma State leads that series 10-9. 6-1 here in Tempe. And the umpires have their call.
After review, the ruling of foul ball stands. It is a foul ball, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Yep, that one stands. Probably the right call. Not a big-time clear picture to decipher whether that caught hamate bone or just hands, or even wrist.
Yeah, not a clear enough angle there. So now a chance for Brown to, again, lock it down, escape this inning. But for Oklahoma State, and Jones trying to turn the lineup over with 2 outs.
Count remains full, 2 outs, and a runner in scoring position. Oklahoma State has stranded 4 of those. So in the first 2 innings, 3-2 pitch again. Popped up, foul territory, first base side, just out of the reach of Chester. And we'll do it again. Amanda Hasler walked with 1 out. She stole second base. She's still there. Aubrey Jones, 9-hole hitting shortstop at the plate, full count, and 2 outs. Another pitch from Brown. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Elevated heater. And another K to Brown's line. Another runner stranded in scoring position to the line of the Cowgirls. Arizona State to the plate. It's 3-4-5 when we come back to Farrington Stadium. Is 15-2 when scoring first. They are 16-2 when leading after 4. They can take that lead here in this bottom of the 4th inning, and the perfect portion of their order coming to the plate. Alongside Tyler Paley, Alex Coy with you here from Farrington Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. 20-6 Arizona State Sun Devils, 17-7 Oklahoma State Cowgirls. Ashley Mejia and her on-base streak to 24 games now with an infield base hit back in the first. She leads off the fourth. First pitch swinging again. This time tips it in and out of the mitt, and Schneidmiller behind the plate.
Chance here for Mejia to kind of shorten up that swing. Be patient. Set the table for this inning. You got the heart of the lineup up here in the middle portion of the ball game. Still waiting for our first run.
This one on the ground softly again. It's to the shortstop Jones, just in time to get Mejia. Good transfer at the shortstop spot for the first out of the fourth. It was a similar slow chopper to the second baseman last time for the hit. This time it's converted to an out.
Yeah, you gotta like the Oklahoma State defense as well. Real pitcher's duel on our hands on this Friday.
Much more efficient on the side of Ruby Malin. She still has struck out 5 though. No walks. Just 2 hits allowed. Chester takes one up and away. Struck out looking to end the first inning her last time. Malin has retired 4 straight. Time for her longest stretch in this game. Has done so after both hits she's allowed. A single so far. Sun Devils stranded their lone runner in scoring position back in that 3rd inning. Oklahoma State is stranded 6, 5 of them with a chance to score. This one called a strike, 2-1.
Yeah, Malin doing a good job using that changeup to kind of disrupt Chester. Does that so well, and you said the word up to this point, it's efficient. Just crossing the 50 pitch threshold. She's been solid so far.
This one hard but foul on the ground, 2-2. Tight games, those numbers you start to look at offensively. What can you do with runners in scoring position? I already told you they're 0 for. Oklahoma State 0 for 5, Sun Devils 0 for 1. 2 out hitting, just 1 hit on each side. Here's the 2-2. Full count. Chester trying to find a way to reach in front of Sam Swan, the 3-2. This one in the air toward left. It'll hang up for Warsaw. Makes the catch, 2 down.
Yeah, just a little bit out in front of that one. Kind of got off the end of the bat. I like the approach from Chester. Now a chance for Swan to try to do something in this 4th before we turn it over.
Now discussion from third base umpire Tracy Laycock with Malin, right-handed pitcher for Oklahoma State. It is something that Laycock picked up on to make sure there's no illegal pitch from Ruby Malin. Tied the first 2 in this bottom of the 4th. Oh, it catches the zone, perfectly framed at the knees by Schneidmiller. Their counterpart Sam Swan at the plate, flying to left to start the 2nd inning. Late on that one, tapped in and hung on to. It's 0-2. Malin a strikeout in each frame so far. Put a cap on the 3rd innings. The Sun Devils down in order for the 2nd time. Here's the pitch. It's up and away.
Swan really good at these situational hitting opportunities. Really good when she has runners in front of her on the base paths. Not the situation here. So trying to work herself back into the count.
1-2. Just a piece to stay alive. Fights that one off. Almost out of the catcher's mitt. It's kind of the same opportunity for Oklahoma State like we saw for Arizona State if Brown could get out unscathed at the top half of this inning. Cowgirls would set up their top of the order at the top of the 5th. 2 outs, nobody on. The 1-2. Swing and miss, strike 3. Pinpoint accuracy from Ruby Malin. Elevates a heater that time. Another strikeout to her line. We head to the 5th. Still without a score in Tempe. Big 12 on ESPN. Another picture perfect night here in Tempe, Arizona. Kenzie Brown, that didn't start perfect for her, but she's weaved in and out of damage. She's stranded 5 runners in scoring position, and probably most importantly, she's found her groove, Tyler.
Yeah, she certainly has. And like you said, kind of finessed her way out of situations, in particular in the first 2 innings. The pitch count, not necessarily a concern up to this point, but definitely getting up there. Aside from that, she's been able to get in and out of situations, really rely on her off-speed pitch, and has settled in nicely as we enter the 5th.
Face the top of the Oklahoma State order for the 3rd time tonight as she finds the screen with the first pitch. J.L. Austin has struck out twice from the leadoff spot, one looking, one swinging. It's not hit since the 2nd. That kind of is a good example of the type of groove that Kenzie has found herself in. 5 of the first 9 reached. Since then, just 1 base runner. It was a walk. Cowgirls still just have 1 hit, that 2-out triple back in the 1st. This one's rolled on the ground foul wide of first base. 1-1.
Yeah, Austin, really a prototypical leadoff hitter for this Oklahoma State squad. A table setter.
On base at 471.
Yeah, so much speed. Really good base runner when she's able to get on base. Solid contact as a lefty.
Good spot with that pitch. That outside corner to a left-handed hitter has been wide open for Kenzie Brown so far. They've definitely made her work, though. Or 1-2. That's upstairs, another screen finder. You mentioned the speed, J.L. Austin. Important to retire her leadoff an inning. Not only because, of course, you don't want base runners, but also leads the team in stolen bases, 8 of 9 this year. 2-2. 0 away, full count. Got a sense that the freshman's going to see something to challenge her. Junior and Tia Warsop waits on deck. So the top of this order sees Kenzie Brown for the 3rd time tonight. 3-2. Tapper foul. It's another aspect that, look, the strikeout numbers are big. Anytime Kenzie Brown's going to pitch, it's going to be that. But the Cowgirls have not gone down without a fight. All kinds of 3-2 counts, all kinds of foul balls.
Well, we kind of said it in the open.
Oh,
Something's got to give
Yep.
between this offense and the solid pitching, really, on both sides.
Here's the 3-2. Another foul ball. So far, it's been the pitching. Just 3 total hits in this game. 8 strikeouts for Kenzie Brown. 6 strikeouts for Ruby Malin. Haven't been short of runners in scoring position, though. Neither team has cashed in. Cowgirls trying to find a base runner. 3-2. Swing and miss. Strike 3. Just blows that one right by her on the outside half. Again, it's wide open to left-handed hitters. They have not taken the ball the other way.
Yeah, just pure power there. Finds the outside edge and just whips it right past her. Again, changes the eye level a bit and able to retire Austin to get that first out as she eclipses 100 pitches.
9 strikeouts for Kenzie Brown. She's a double-digit strikeout start machine. Wants to reset here, get back on the same page with the catcher Sam Swan as Warsop steps in. A strikeout swinging in the 1st, a ground out to the pitcher to end the 2nd. Now it's low and away. Trying to go to that same spot that got Austin to swing through. Slide action in the Oklahoma State bullpen. Looks like double barrel action. Couple of righties over there. Wave and a miss for strike one.
Borsop so disciplined. We've talked about that all game long. She'll wait for a pitch she can handle. But Brown really not giving many pitches to these Oklahoma State batters that they seem to be able to handle.
0 away again, 2-1. Megan Bartlett before the season called Kenzie Brown a Ferrari. The reason why some staff members have come in from elsewhere to help drive that Ferrari and the success of this team this year. You can see why. Or 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That time goes down very low and just gets a swing and miss. It's what we've become accustomed to seeing from Kenzie Brown, especially in the later portion of this ball game.
Trying to find strikeout number 10. Her 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Sometimes it feels like it's easy.
Speed her up in that second strike and then slow her down. Just really impressive pitching from Kenzie Brown. Nothing too crazy about it. It's middle, perhaps a little bit low, but I'll tell you what, just an impressive inning for Kenzie.
She struck out 4 straight, gets ahead here with a strike. She's K'd 5 of the last 6 that have stepped to the dish. 5 straight outs. No hits since the first time Claire Timm stepped to the plate. A triple in shallow left. Also flying to the wall in center field. Back in the third. That one ducks the corner. She's ahead 0-2. Kenzie Brown entered this game 17 strikeouts shy of 500 in her career. 2 misses low and away. She's got 10 already. Her 99th career pitching appearance. 1-2. Trying to set up Timm, but not flinching. It's all Kenzie Brown here in the 5th. A 2-2. Full count.
Again, tries to go low, off speed, but Timm doesn't bite. One of those patient hitters. Keeps her confidence up there. Brown trying to get out of this inning.
Senior on senior. A battle with 2 outs in the 5th. Then that one skips home. It's a 2-out walk. Claire Timm finds a way on, and that's the 6th walk issued by Kenzie Brown.
Yeah, tough one there just because of how efficient the inning was prior to that, but not the end of the world. You have a runner on first for Brown. Cleanup hitter coming up in Rosie Davis, who is 0 for 1 so far, and a chance to still try to finagle her way out.
Looks like they're going to pinch run over at first base. Try to get some speed aboard with Macy Graff, a senior outfielder. Represents the lead run as we get later and later in this game. So their cleanup hitter, as you mentioned, Rosie Davis with an opportunity. A walk in the first, a fly again to the wall in the 3rd inning. It's the only frame that Kenzie Brown has retired Oklahoma State in order, and that was probably the loudest inning that they've had with their bats. Pitch misses up and away. Three homers and 18 driven in on the season for Davis. Throw behind the runner at first, and a nice job by Chester to get down to a knee and pick that before it got down the line. It's the last thing you need in a close game. A throw to get away and a runner to run forever from first.
Yeah, it's a good pick. Good defensive play.
Only 2:02 down the line, but it's a deep corner foul territory. This one in the air, pretty well hit out toward left at the wall. That ball is gone. Rosie Davis gives Oklahoma State the lead with a blast in the 5th inning.
Great piece of hitting from Davis, and that's the danger. She can change the complexion of a softball game with one swing, and she does just that. Inning extended because of the batter in front of her and Tim. She's pinch run for, and then Davis does the rest, sees her pitch and takes it yard to zip.
It shows the importance of a senior and veteran presence. A fantastic plate appearance of Claire Tim, who fell behind 0-2, able to work the walk. And then the 4th home run of the season from Rosie Davis to put Oklahoma State on top. I mean, this is almost identical to the start against Oklahoma that Kenzie Brown had to open up the season. She went the first 5 innings scoreless. Offense gave her one swing, just a 1-run lead of support. A walk in the 6th. A couple batters later, a 2-run home run and a tough luck loss. In this 5th inning, a walk in the frame. Next batter, 2-run home run and a 2-0 deficit. Got to find a way to retire. Godwin at the plate. She's 0 for 2. A strikeout and a fly to left. This one in the air toward left. Acuna will go back on it. Settles under to make the play. And it will end the inning. Oklahoma State strikes first. It's a 2-run shot from Rosie Davis. 2-0 Cowgirls as we head at the bottom of the 5th. Two out, 2-run home run from Rosie Davis. That's the only tally in this game. Arizona State will look to respond with the bottom half of their order, 6, 7, and 8. It all gets started off with Megan Bartlett's third baseman, Yazzie Avila. First time pitching with the lead, Ruby Malin, who has been really smooth in this game, really efficient as well. Just 2 base runners, both of them were singles. Corners playing in. Avila will take one low and in. She bounced out to the third baseman Davis back in the 2nd. That was that great pick. You can see how close she is playing to home plate. And those were, you just simply got to rely on instincts. No reaction time. It's outside for ball 2.
And that's Avila's tendency, right? Those line drive hits that just couldn't squeak by the third baseman or last time, but stick to that. You're not going to change this ball game with this at bat. Your job, get on base and set up the bottom 3 in the order.
Oh, look, you get on base, that sets up a 1-swing game, right? Arizona State with a tying run on deck until they get a runner on base late in this game. 2-0 bottom 5, and a 4-pitch walk to start it off sets up the tying run at the plate. It's Tiade Ho-Ching, who has 4 home runs on the season. A big moment again, just to simply keep the line moving as she tries to settle back into 2026.
Meanwhile, in the circle, a rare loss of command for Malin to start out this bottom half of the 5th. Now having to contend with a base runner and nobody out.
First walk of the game. So just the 2nd time through for ASU. Swinging butt toward third. Good jump throw from Davis to get the out. Let's move a runner to scoring position for Arizona State. Just their 2nd of the game. They got one there for 2 outs back in the 3rd and stranded in.
Not what she was trying to do, but does the job anyway. Now you have a runner in scoring position, one away, and you can turn to Ho Ching or rather Ulrich, to try to drive that runner home, or at least advance her a little further here in the later portion of this softball game.
Conversation in the circle. Oklahoma State has had double barrel action in their bullpen down the right field line for a good portion of an inning now. 64 pitches for their ace starting pitcher, Ruby Malin. And while it feels like those 2 runs, the way this game has gone, it's almost like a 5-run lead. But look, again, it can change in the snap of a finger. This late in the game, you're going to play matchups. Leave her in against the 8-hole hitting Brooklyn Ulrich, who has a base hit. It was up the middle back in that 3rd. Sun Devil leadoff base runner until the leadoff walk from Avila, now runs at 2nd. Corner's playing into attack. That's upstairs. Yaya Acuna, the 9-hole hitter, awaits on deck. She struck out her lone time facing the right-hander. 2-0's low and away. Sun Devils trying to make Oklahoma State face some defensive adversity for the first time. They've not had more than 1 runner on at any given time tonight.
Yeah, they have a good hitter at the plate for this situation. Ulrich, a situational hitter, really good at advancing runners or extending those innings.
Takes a strike to activate the count at 3-1.
Really good contact hitter. We'll see if she takes this pitch or tries to do something with it.
Fouls it away off the end of the bat, full count. A pair of right-handers warming in the Oklahoma State pen. Next pitch will be the 70th. Ruby Malin, the senior. She's now worked 86 innings in her season. This one's tapped foul, just wide of first. Count remains full.
Good way to stay alive on that pitch. Too close to take.
Veteran Ulrich battling at the plate. 3-2 is in the air towards center field. Going to send Austin back to the wall. That ball is gone. Just the 2nd blast of the season for Ulrich. It's a 2-run shot to tie the game.
Just a beautiful swing by Ehrlich here. Waits for it, and that one just keeps carrying and carrying. And gets out to the deepest part of the ballpark. Needed 210 feet to send that one over the wall. Probably got 211. Tie game in Tempe late.
We mentioned it can all change in one swing of the bat, and that one swing came from one of the unlikeliest of heroes, and Brooklyn Ulrich from that 8-hole in the order. A leadoff walk in front of it makes it 2-2. Woods in there for a strike. Both teams in this 5th inning have had a 2-run blast following a walk. The only runs in the game. Avery Matroni, the pitch hitter, bats right side. Swings and misses. Is in there for Yaya Acuna. Trying to restart things, and as representing the lead run. On the way for more defensive pressure on Oklahoma State. In the dirt. Little tapper toward third. Davis, great defense all day, and a sharp throw to first for the second out. Change for the top of the order to start it with 2.
Chance with one of the best Sun Devil hitters in Kaylee Pond to try to extend this inning, perhaps give ASU its first lead of the night. Other than that, head to the 6th. Try to lock this one down for Brown.
And she can find a mistake. She's known to hit the ball out of the ballpark this season as well. 7 home runs from that leadoff spot. Mentioned the Oklahoma game with Kenzie Brown in the circle in the top half of this inning. That 1 run of support she got was a Kaylee Pond home run. Now it's tapped off her back. Ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 away. Oklahoma State took a brief 2-run lead in the top half of this 5th inning. A 2-run shot with 2 outs from Rosie Davis. Arizona State ties this game. 1-out, 2-run home run from Brooklyn Ulrich, her 2nd of the season. 1-2 pitch.
Not going to get Pond to chase too much. Again, one of the most, if not the most disciplined hitter in this Arizona State lineup. But Maitland going back to the changeup.
Her 2-2 on the ground and into center field, a base hit. The top of the Sun Devil order sees Maitland for the 3rd time and Pond aboard with a single. One of the emotional leaders of this ball club in that third base dugout. Back to erupt. The lead runner on with fantastic speed with 2 outs as the Sun Devils, as you said, trying to take their first lead of the game. Oklahoma State sticking with Ruby Maitland with Emily Shep at the dish. Struck out twice right on right. Swing and a miss late on that one.
Yeah, it's just a power pitch down and in from Maitland. Trying to escape this inning after that 2-run blast a little while ago.
That one's tapped foul, I think at 2.
You and I have called plenty of hockey games together, and to me it feels like we're entering kind of that 3rd period where like the next run may be the deciding factor in this one.
Especially the way the pitching has been able to dominate. 6 hits combined. 0-2. Pond takes off. Throw down to second is on the money. And that will end the inning. Thought they might put her in motion with 2 strikes and 2 outs. It'll give the chance for the top of the order to get another crack at it back in the 6th. But a 2-run shot from Brooklyn Ulrich, her 2nd of the year, ties us at 2. State and Arizona State to kick off the 3-game series here in Tempe. The 2026 Women's Final Four is headed to Arizona April 2nd. Starting then, downtown Phoenix will be home to the biggest stage in women's basketball, including free events for all ages all weekend long. Semifinals both air on ESPN on Friday, April 3rd, followed by the championship game on ABC on Sunday, April 5th. You can learn more at ncaa.com/women's Final Four. Both of these schools hope to hear their names called on Sunday. The selection show, I think that's at 5 Mountain Time. Oklahoma State feels like they're a lock to get into the field. Arizona State, if they don't make the field, would have the most wins by a Power 4 program to not make it.
What's your gut tell you?
My gut is not the smartest thing in the world, so
oh, we know.
who knows? The 0-1 pitch from Kenzie Brown. Number in the air. It's caught by a shortstop Ulrich, who just tied the game. I think, look.
I think they're in.
I do too. Season record for the best start to the season and one of the best turnarounds in the sport.
Such an impressive team Molly Miller put together for Arizona State.
And a dismantling of Iowa State as well in the conference tournament to and avenge one loss and get a quad one win. Of course, Arizona State beat Oklahoma State in Tempe a couple months ago. That at the time was a quad one win before Cowgirls lost a couple in a row and fell off. How about the night of Kenzie Brown outside of that two-run, two-out home run in the top half of last inning? It's been pretty much the exact scouting report you get from her. Strikeouts everywhere, double digits in that category, and still going strong with 127 pitches.
She's been as advertised, an absolute workhorse. And, you know, we said it off the top. ASU goes as Kenzie Brown goes. And so to give up that two-run blast and then respond immediately after.
Jam shot pop up just in front of us. 1-2. Did you bring your glove today?
Seems like I'll have to tomorrow.
Yes, come on.
That was close.
Your daughter's just about softball age. Almost time to get things going. Getting close anyway.
Approaching 3.
Okay.
I told the wife she should bring her out.
Can at least put the ball in her hand. Make sure it's in the left hand, of course.
Exactly.
1-2. That's time foul.
I'll tell you what, though, if this game is anything indicative of what this weekend will look like, we're in for a really fun series.
Two of the Big 12's best. Building in Tempe. Especially, again, what we opened with, the offense of Oklahoma State going against the pitching staff that has been so stellar all season. And wanting some revenge from how they started the 2026 Big 12 campaign. There's a strike to the inside corner. It's strike 3, 2 outs in the 6th.
Yeah, Kenzie Brown, 131 pitches into this game and still delivering right on target. That inside corner has been her bread and butter all night long. Something tells me between her and Malin, this is not the last we will see of them this weekend.
That's 11 strikeouts now. And a perfectly placed fastball on the corner to start the plate appearance of Jaden Jones. Pop out and strike out in his 6th. Sun Devils will have 2, 3, and 4. Start off the bottom half of this 6th inning. Brown wants to make sure they do so, tied at 2. Swing and miss. She's at the point of the game where she's just going to challenge everybody. There's a point maybe in the latter half of the first time through the order where she was nibbling, struggling with some command, but now 134 pitches in, 2 outs into the 6th. It's pure attack mode. Here it is, hit it. Just barely did, and the count stays 1-2.
Yeah, the fact that she's only allowed 2 hits up to this point is mighty impressive, especially after those first 2 innings when you felt like it was only a matter of time until the Cowgirls were able to get one over the plate.
2 hits, cool. Only 7 balls in play the entire game. Trying to cap off this 6th with another strikeout, or 1-2. Swing and miss, strike 3. My goodness. What else can you expect from Kenzie Brown? That's an even dozen strikeouts through 6. An offense maybe has some life after the home run in the fifth, trying to take their first lead. Tied at 2 in Tempe. Arizona State's heart of the order has an opportunity to get a last at-bat victory if they can take the lead in the 6th and shut it down in the 7th. Easier said than done, though. Just 4 hits and 2 runs against right-handed Ruby Malin. The 2 runs allowed off the bat of Brooklyn Ulrich, a 2-run home run in that 5th that followed a leadoff walk. Now the 3rd time through the order, Emily Shep will step to the plate for the 4th time. She was at the dish when Kaylee Pond was caught stealing with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the 5th. One of those where it doesn't hurt you if you get thrown out. If it works, you're in scoring position with 2 away. If not, 2-hole hitter gets another chance. That one dips in and low. Emily Shep, then Ashley Mejia and Katie Chester. Big-time production from all 3 of those in the Sun Devil lineup. Shep has struck out twice.
Yeah, 1 for 6 combined tonight for those 3 hitters due up this inning, but at the same time, exactly the 3 you want up if you're the Sun Devils. Set the table, advance runners, try to take the lead here in the 6th.
2-1 count on Shep. The 1 hit you mentioned came from Ashley Mejia, an infield single with 2 outs in the 1st. Three and 1. A leadoff walk would be the last thing Oklahoma State wants. They do appeal on the swing, but she did not go. Arizona State with a ton of speed on the bench. A would likely pinch run for Shep. This late in the game, representing the lead run. And 1 pitch, he swings away and fouls it away. Going to use Matroni off the bench to pinch hit. Speed up and down. First, Shep has to find a way to reach. 3-2. On the ground towards second. Jones is there. Hit it hard, but right at a defender, 1 away.
Yeah, good defense by the second baseman there. Stay square. Jaden Jones, and 1 down early for Arizona State.
Here is Ashley Mejia. This ball hit toward the second baseman Jones. It turned into an infield single. Grounded out to the other Jones at short. Run off the 4th inning. Takes one upstairs. Deeper and deeper into the night of Ruby Malin. Going to 90 pitches, and activity in the bullpen is on silent for Oklahoma State. 1-0 is upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. So feeling that if the Sun Devils can be patient enough to just wait her out in this 6th inning and get some traffic on. 8 home runs, and Katie Chester on deck. 5 more in Sam Swan after her. That's up and in, 3-0. Two straight 3-ball counts for Arizona State to start the 6th inning.
Yeah, and Malin's so durable, right? She can get deep into these ball games. Obviously, way fewer pitches than Kenzie Brown is dealing with right now. Hasn't even eclipsed 100 yet, but getting to that late portion where the next run could be the determinant.
And a 4-pitch walk to Ashley Mejia puts the lead run aboard in the 6th inning. Tied at 2. Arizona State not a team that runs a ton up and down their lineup, but they do some good speed. Mejia, though, one of those who doesn't run a lot, just 1 for 1. Probably don't want to run in front of Katie Chester right now. She's swinging the bat. 400 the batting average. Swings first pitch and fouls it down the third base line.
Yeah, Megan Bartlett giving her the green light. Trying to end this game here in the 6th. With your cleanup hitter up there.
On the corner, strike. 0-2.
Great pitch by Malin. Comes right back, challenges on the outside. Just paints that corner.
One on walk at first base. The 0-2 skips in. It gets away from Schneidmiller. And the scoring position goes Mejia. Good run. ASU is there. Arizona State 1 for 2 runners in scoring position. Just 1 and 6 with runners on. One was the 2-run home run from Brooklyn Ulrich. Trying to take the lead in this 6th inning. A little pinch run now for Mejia. It's Corey Scholl that will go out, run at second base. A walk and then advancing on a wild pitch. Chances for Arizona State to get a single and take the lead. It would be their first in the 6th inning. Cowgirls will have 9-1 and 2 due up no matter what in the 7th. Chester in a 1-2 hole, but a runner now in scoring position. Fouls that one off, just barely, stays alive. Almost playing cricket there. That thing almost bounced in.
Yeah.
Anything close though, gotta own the plate.
Stay alive by Chester. And that advanced runner just completely changes the dynamic here.
Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Waved at it. Strikeouts have not been overwhelming from Malin, but they've been certainly timely. Second out in the 6th inning.
Yeah.
7.
Both velo and location for Malin, the determining factors here tonight. That time she just gets her to chase at the plate and locks it up. Now 2 down.
Sam Swan, she swings first pitch, fouls it away. Swan, a fly ball to left and a strikeout. That ended the 4th inning. Storyline in this game, both teams find a way to figure it out with runners in scoring position. Oklahoma State stranded 4 in scoring position in the first 2 innings. Catches the corner. Nothing it too quickly. One out walk. Runs at second base. Malin over the century mark in pitches. On the ground toward third. Davis on to first in time for the out. Sun Devils get a runner to scoring position with 1 away and can't move it any further. We enter the 7th. We're still tied 2-2 in Tempe. Brown ace for Arizona State. We've come to expect this and much more. It started with a little bit of a struggle in command, but she has found that command since. A ton of strikeouts, 12 more. She's now just 5 away from 500 in her collegiate career.
Yeah, it was all about settling in after a few hiccups early. First inning, second inning, a bit of a challenge, but she settled right back in, relied a little bit less on that rise ball, perhaps a little bit more on her off-speed changeup, and has really come into her own nicely as this ball game has went on. Now entering the 7th inning, approaching 140 pitches.
7 of the last 9 outs via strikeout. Trying to keep it tied at 2, give the offense another chance. This time to walk it off for the bottom half. We'll face 9, then 1 and 2 in the Oklahoma State order. It's Aubrey Jones to lead it off. She struck out twice, both swinging. And J.L. Austin, 3 strikeouts for her, 2 swinging and 1 looking. And then Tia Warsup, 2 strikeouts for her. This one's fouled away. Oklahoma State going to go to a pinch hitter. It's Gabby Castillo, a freshman catcher who's been unbelievable this season.
Yeah, a ton of offensive upside for Castillo, especially for a catcher. She actually was named Big 12 Co-Freshman of the Week earlier this season.
Line of the count 0-2. Here it comes. That one's in there. It's strike 3. Just absolutely frozen. 13th strikeout of the night.
Yeah, lucky 13 on Friday the 13th for Kenzie Brown. And that one just freezes Castillo. Middle. Not much you can do with the off speed.
Oklahoma State going to be forced to go to another pinch hitter. J.L. Austin had struck out all 3 times she came to the plate. He's trying to give a different look. Senior outfielder Lexi McDonald will step to the dish. And against left-handers, Kenzie Brown has just simply attacked low and away. It's strike 3, both with the hard stuff and the off-speed. The first Oklahoma State hitter to go the other way with one will have success from that left side. Not this time, a sword. Strike 1.
Gets a little upstairs on that one. Does Brown. And gets McDonald to chase.
A senior that's just trying to find a way to get on base. There's been a ton of traffic against Kenzie, who retired and stranded 5 runners on base in the first 2 innings. There's 3 base runners since. A walk stranded in the 4th inning, and then the 2-out walk and 2-out home run back in the 5th to supply Oklahoma State's offensive output. Sun Devils answered, though, with a 2-run home run of their own from Brooklyn Ulrich, bottom half of that 5th inning. Everything else, it's been all pitching. Kenzie Brown and Ruby Malin in there for strike 1 and 2. Got to be so hard, Tyler, coming off the bench and expecting to do something against Kenzie Brown.
Yeah, well, you've seen the game she's pitched here today, and still rocking and rolling. I mean, there seems to be no fatigue setting in for Kenzie whatsoever as she closes in on 150 pitches. Has to be pretty intimidating watching from that OK State side.
See her starting to feel it a little bit. Couple arm circles behind the rubber, steps back on. And deals her 142nd pitch of the night. It's driven foul. McDonald off the bench, pinch hitting for leadoff hitting J.L. Austin. Swing and miss, strike 3. And leadoff spot 0 for 4 with 4 Ks.
Again, just ties her up. Brown has that pitch kind of sliced from the inside, more towards the out on a bit of a breaking ball there. And just so impressive that she continues to keep it rolling here deep late into this softball game.
Now 2 outs in this top of the 7th with nobody on. Warsaw puts down a bunt, pretty good. Chester on to first though in time for the out with Ho-Ching covering the bag. A 1-2-3 7th for Kenzie Brown. The Sun Devil bottom half of the order can walk it off in the 7th. That supplied its only 2 runs of this game back in the 5th inning as they look to grab their first win in Big 12 play this season. What a win it would be. What a better taste in their mouth it would bring. Reset things. First time going on the road all season at UTEP. Earlier this week, controlled that one the entire way. But not led in this game. And Yazzie Avila to strike things off. She takes one on the corner for a strike. She walked to lead off the 5th inning. 2 batters later, Oakland Ulrich tied the game with a home run to center. Sun Devils have forced Ruby Malin to triple digits in the pitch count. As that one misses just low. It's 1-1.
Yeah, this is really where it becomes gut check time for both these teams. You fought to the bitter end, and now who has just that little extra more to give to send your team celebrating?
And that one drills her on the elbow, and they're going to give her first base. Oklahoma State wondered if she kind of leaned into that one, sticking out the elbow, but Arizona State has a walk-off run on base to start off this 7th inning. And here's another look at it. This is going to be a conversation. Anyway, on, of course, the theme. She presented that elbow pretty clearly. It's going to be a conversation between the umpires here.
Yeah, I think there's an argument to be made there.
It will go beyond that first base dugout. And look, this game, and of course, this base runner is very, very important to lead off an inning, to give opportunity to move that runner, lay the bunt down.
Yeah. This one's tough because that pitch comes in so hot. The issue is her elbow gets up rather early in the pitch, and the celebration after, well, it has no bearing on the actual play. It kind of indicates perhaps she wasn't necessarily trying to get out of the way of that pitch.
And look, the difference in outcomes for each of these teams feels like it's massive. For Oklahoma State, the difference between a 2-2 start to Big 12 play and a 1-3 start to Big 12 play, and on the road against a tough opponent. For Arizona State, it's the difference between 0-4 and 1-3.
And it's very early in conference play, but that can only be said for so long,
sure,
right? And as we make our way into the middle portion of March and continue on towards May and the College World Series conference tournament, right? Every last win, every last game matters, especially for ASU that'll hit the road next weekend.
Looks like we have the verdict. Here it comes.
After review, the case stands.
They do keep the runner at first base, and Yazzie Avila. She started off that 5th with a walk, gets another free pass, drilled her on the elbow. Here's Tiane Ho-Ching with a chance to move the winning run to scoring position. We heard coaches talk a lot, regardless of sport, of setting a foundation early in either the season or early in conference play. As Round pulls back, takes the ball. The first is Avila. On the foundation for both of these teams, one series in might be a little swampy. Chance to solidify it. 1 weekend later, bunt is popped up and it's caught by the catcher Schneidmiller for the first out. That's the opposite of execution.
Yeah, that's not ideal for Ho-Ching and the Sun Devils. trying to play small ball here because you've struggled to get a whole bunch of hits against Mayland, and looking for a simple put down bunt, advance the runner, but now one out and that runner stays put.
Usually such a sure-handed and confident batter, Tiade Ho-Ching. Pops one up, and it does set up Clint Ulrich down 0-1 in the count. Second home run of the season, the reason why we're tied at 2. Snuck over the center field wall of the O, and Arizona State in dead center. Takes one in the zone. It's 0-2. Some little fans don't like that call.
That was close. That's been the home plate umpire zone all day, so hard to argue.
A leadoff hit by pitch, still at first base. Tapper slowly rolling, but fouled on the third base line. Ryan Brown, in her immense power, awaits on deck. A pinch hitting role for ASU. Now on a great stop from Schneidmiller to hold the runner at first base.
Yeah, great defense by Schneidmiller. Otherwise, that was going to the backstop, allow the Sun Devils to get a runner in scoring position. Instead, just stays square and knocks it down.
That would have been identical to how Arizona State got a runner in scoring position with one out in the 6th inning. Unable to do anything with it. Hit by pitch and a bunt. Check swing. Called on the swing. Strike 3. Stephen Gould brings her up from his perch. Would have been a tough angle for Tracy Laycock. She's behind second base. That's a big second out of this 7th. Yes, you did.
Yeah, that's the right call.
Megan Bartlett out to chat with Stephen Gould. Jeanette, pinch hitter. Ryan Brown can hit the ball a mile. Just a perfect role for her to be a massive weapon off the bench, especially with 2 outs where look, the objective is not to move the runner over. The objective is not to just simply put together a good at-bat. Put the ball down the line, find the gap, or even do it the easy way, hit it over the wall and win the game. It's a strike to the corner, it's 0-1.
Big moment here.
Just missed 1-1. Maybe low, maybe out. Only way each team has scored a 2-run home run that came in the 5th inning. On the ground and snagged somehow by Mayland. Just flicks it to first. Look what I found as she sends us to extra innings. These pitchers are unbeatable. Tied at 2. Extras in Tempe. Then Arizona State goes to the bullpen for the first time and brings in some gas. It's Mika Lupi. She has a big spot facing the 3, 4, and 5 portion of the Oklahoma State lineup. First game of 3 this weekend between these two teams to set up what is going to be an unbelievable series. It's two teams that are fringe top 25, various polls. Oklahoma State as high as 15 as you see. Arizona State 25 and a couple. Both of them trying to turn around tough starts to their Big 12 conference play. First pitch goes to the fastball. That's it right at the knees for strike 1. They wanted Mika Lupi in the offseason to really focus on the development. Said that she'd throw her bullpen and then sit aside and watch the other bullpens of pitchers like Kenzie Brown, who we saw dominate Oklahoma State through 7. Maisa Silva, another veteran pitcher on the Sun Devil pitching staff. Strongest Sun Devil on the team, the Iron Devil 2 years straight. Nice ball cutter with her repertoire. That one's a bouncer up the middle. Backhand Ho Ching wouldn't have mattered, a base hit.
Good job finding a hole, getting on base again, starting the inning with a base runner. It's exactly what you want to do if you're Oklahoma State in this situation. New pitcher in the ball game. You're exactly right. Even if Ho Ching were able to corral that one, probably no play at first base. Now a situation where the Cowgirls can capitalize and force the Sun Devils' hand. They're able to get one across the plate.
And in left field, Sydney Signs will patrol out there. Her first home run as a Sun Devil on the midweek at UTEP. Enters defensively with a runner at first, nobody on, top of the extra 8th inning, tied at 2. That one's outside for a ball. Claire Tim's infield base hit. Now Rosie Davis, the 2-run home run, followed the Tim walk back in the 5th inning. With Oklahoma State the only lead of the game, a very brief 2-0 advantage. On the corner, a strike.
Great pitch. Again, just paints the outside. Use the full strike zone. She's been fairly liberal today from home plate umpire Stephen Gold.
Megan Bartley was honest heading into this season. Said Lupi was thrust into a role last season she probably wasn't ready for it. But what that does do, give you the experience to where thrust into action here, it doesn't bother you. At 1-2. Leadoff runner at first base. Put away. Tim, one of the few runners at the top half of the Oklahoma State order that does not run a ton, just 2 of 2 swiping backs. 2-2 count to Davis. On the ground toward third. Avila on to second. Ho Ching to first, not in time. They do get the important lead runner. First out of this top of the 8th inning. Here's Carly Goodwin.
Good work by Avila to try to turn that to that double play, I should say, and had to go to the backhand. That was the issue, the slow up there, so was only able to get the first, but get the lead runner and eliminate one here in the extra inning.
Carly Godwin 0 for 3, strikeout looking in the first. She's flying to left twice since, including one that was maybe 5 feet from leaving the yard. Had Laya Acuna at the time with her back right up against the wall. 2-0. Replacing Davis, I should say, replacing Tim with Davis at first base on that fielder's choice does give a little bit more speed to Oklahoma State representing the lead run. 5 of 6 attempting steals. Swings through that one, 2-1. Godwin a homer and 9 runs batted in on the season. That one's off the end of the bat. Ho Ching only played at first, slightly bobbles but gets the out. 2 outs, but a runner in scoring position for Oklahoma State. They're 0 of 5 with that situation today.
Yeah, but now you have Schneidmiller up, who is known for her plate discipline and just finding ways to get on base, advance hitters, and that's exactly what she needs to do here. Doesn't necessarily have the power, but she's clutch.
3-13 with the runners in scoring position this season. She takes a strike. Even better with 2 outs. Nearly 500 the batting average at 467. 0-1 pitch from Loopy. Outside, 1-1.
In that UCF series, Alex, it was actually Schneidmiller who hit a double in the middle portion of that game that helped start an Oklahoma State rally. So again, you go back to that clutch factor. Big chance for her here.
Facing the new pitcher, Loopy. This is low with another fastball, and it's 2-1. For 7 innings, tossed by Kenzie Brown. Just 2 runs allowed. A ton of strikeouts to her name. Loopy, it's been infield single, fielder's choice, and a ground down. A run in scoring position, top of the extra 8th inning. That's on a corner, called a strike. It's 2-2. As long as pitchers have hit their spots tonight, it's pretty much been called a strike. Loopy do it once more to give her offense the top of the order a chance. That's slapped foul just in front of the on-deck batter, and Hasler.
That'll wake you up.
2 hours and 40 minutes into this game. It's been tight. There's been action. Pitchers have 1 out outside of 2 2-run homers. 2-2 pitch. Schneidmiller walk in the 2nd inning. Strike out in the 4th. Popped out to the shortstop Ulrich in the 6th. Full count, 2 outs. Runner in scoring position. Up and away. And a veteran plate appearance there to work the walk. It's 2 on and 2 out. Inning extends for Amanda Hasler.
Yeah, it's just a pro-level at-bat there from Schneidmiller. Works her way back into it. So disciplined. Again, we go back to that situational hitting, and I think that's, to me, what I've learned the most about Oklahoma State here tonight is they're just patient. They wait for the right situation, and they do the right things. Hasn't resulted in a ton of offense yet tonight, but that's because they ran into a workhorse of a pitcher in Kenzie Brown.
And it does extend the inning for another senior. Hasler's walked twice. One time looking her last time against Kenzie Brown back in the 6th inning, though. 2 on in front of her with 2 out to the top of the 8th. Throw behind the runner, and they got her. The tag applied. Sam Swan to Katie Chester. They catch Schneidmiller napping at first, and the top of the order are going to get a chance to walk it off. When you need it most, the defense comes alive and snags it out from you. Kaylee Pond leads it off when we come back. Ask for it in the 8th inning. Ball definitely beat her, just a matter of whether the tag was applied by Katie Chester on the hand of Audrey Schneidmiller over at first. And pretty clear right there.
Yep.
I don't even think Schneidmiller even got to the base.
Yeah, it looks like she hit her right foot.
Just a heads-up play from Sam Swan, and a risky move, too. Because if that gets down, it's a lead for Oklahoma State. Quick call. Here comes the verdict from the umpiring crew.
After the day, rolling at first base is confirmed.
Call is confirmed, and that confirms Arizona State's top of the order can walk it off in the 8th. Kenzie Brown with a ton of Ks. That's kept Sun Devils in this game and has sent the game to extra innings. Also spelled Kaylee Pond with a K. She leads off this bottom of the 8th with a chance to get on base. As the Sun Devils look to walk things off in this 8th. 9-2 against Oklahoma State. It's still Malin in the circle for them. First pitch swinging. Driven deep to right center field. 1 pitch into the 8th. And this ball game is over. The emotional leader of this team, Kaylee Pond, sprints around the bases, and the Sun Devils take the opener.
Wasting no time on that one. Kaylee Pond, the walk-off winner, gives the Devils their first Big 12 win of the season. How about it?
One of those points in the year you just needed a reset. It was a great start to the campaign, all of the games at home. It swept at home against Utah last weekend. First road trip of the year, you go to UTEP. Own that game. This one you never trail until this final swing of the game from Kaylee Pond, her 8th home run of the year. And we see the emotion as she circles the pillars.
So impressive. Good mix, power, discipline, defense from Pond. Tonight the power wins out and the Devils walk it off.
We mentioned her name and the highlight, talking about lineups at the start of play. The hottest hitter in the Sun Devil lineup, a 500 hitter in her last 5 games. When the Sun Devils need positivity, when they need good energy, whether it's a walk, whether it's a hit by pitch, she provides it. This time, it's a walk-off home run. The start of 3-game series, setting up for a fantastic weekend of softball time.
Yeah, and tonight is any indication of what we're about to see on Saturday and Sunday. We are in for a fantastic weekend between 2 really good teams. We saw pitching on display. We saw glimpses of offense on both sides. I think we may see a little bit of everything by the time Sunday afternoon, evening rolls around. This one is bound to be a really fun matchup between these 2 top 25 teams, Alex.
For our entire crew, Tyler Paley, I am Alex Coyle saying so long from Barrington Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. Final score in extras, walk-off fashion, 3-2 Arizona State. Coming up tomorrow, don't miss the next Sun Devil women's softball game, 4 p.m. Mountain on ESPN+. All games airing on the ESPN family of networks, streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.